Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name, if you don't know me, is Martin. I work in Devon as a courier or delivery driver, working with Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Stewart, who have Tesco Bush in my area, and the co-op deliveries. Also, obviously, Just Eat. Lately, I have been delivering for Evri as well, and this video is about Evri. So I have now been with them for, title of the video is going to say 1 month, but it's probably about 6 weeks actually. And a lot of people ask me what it's like. I've done Amazon Flex in the past. Didn't really enjoy Amazon Flex, so I found it kind of, they sent me to places that they don't want to send their vans. So where I am is quite rural. I live in the city, but there's a lot of rural routes around. I think they just sort of, anything that they don't want to send one of their own vans to, that's where they give Amazon Flex, or that's my experience, or if they've got somebody sick or something. So yeah, I've done a couple of Morrison's runs on Amazon Flex lately. They aren't too bad. That's just delivering a few deliveries around the city. But yeah, anyway, back to Evri. So when I first started with Evri, everything seemed to be pretty good. The first couple of runs I did, I got different areas, which I don't think is really worth it. One of the main things I don't like about Evri is that you cannot see what you're earning like as you go. Like with the other apps, you can obviously be like, okay, I earned £7 for that job, £5 for that job. It adds up as the day goes on, as the week goes on, month goes on. You know where you are. With Evri, I'm now on to monthly pay. For the first 4 weeks, it was weekly pay, but now I'm on to monthly pay. And when it comes to the end of the month, I'm making notes of roughly where I'm going to be, but obviously, I just don't know where I'm going to be at the end of the month. So as I was saying, when I first started, I was doing cover rounds all the time, just covering different rounds, because I can only do like 3 or 4 days a week doing this. And I found that when they moved me from area to area, their navigation system is terrible. Their app is not good at knowing where you are, and putting things in a good order for you to deliver. So I found I was going back on myself, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So for me, the cover rounds are just not worth it. And I told the depot manager, like, basically, unless you can give me extra, like an area that I know, or the same round over and over and over again, isn't going to be worth it for me. Which he has, to be fair, done. He's given me the same round in Cranbrook, which is just outside of Exeter, all the time. And I've learnt the round now, so I've become fairly fast at it. So it is now a bit more worth it. However, I do find quite often, like once I've got the parcels loaded, I'll load like a couple of streets in the front, a couple of streets in the passenger wells, and then like 4 different piles in the back, and then any large stuff on top. So I know where stuff is in the car, so once I'm out there delivering, I can make good time. I seem to be doing about 40 parcels an hour, which somebody told me is quite good. But there is quite a lot of dead time, unfortunately. When I first applied for Evri, they had a pickup was Eagle Way in Exeter, which for me is extremely close. It's basically where I work with Just Eat anyway, so I thought, I should be able to then nip over there, collect and go and do my round and come back. However, they've now they've got like a bigger sorting centre, it seems, which is out in Greendale, which is 15-minute drive, and then quite a lot of the time when I get there, it's already full. I have to wait for like 10-15 minutes. That's half an hour. And then sometimes like the load is too big for my car, so then I have to like fanny around a bit, trying to fit in as much as I can, and then like talk to the manager on duty about like getting some of these bigger parcels taken off my round. So like on Monday, for example, is like the worst day for that. Quite often there'll be like 19 massive boxes of HelloFresh, which would fill my car alone, and then like over 100 parcels. Some of them are quite big, so I decided to just not bother doing Mondays because the amount of dead time. It's like half an hour, well, 15 minutes to get out there, 15 minutes of waiting potentially, and then it's like on that kind of, normally it would only take me about half an hour to load and sort the car and sort the parcels out, which isn't too bad, but on Mondays it's like creeps up to like an hour long. Not worth it. So yeah, now that I've got that round there, it is quite good. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. The only other problem I see on Evri is, like for example, this morning I downloaded my round. It gave me like an overview of what I'm going to be delivering, what postcodes to cover, etc. And it said that I had 7 postables. There was only 2 that I was able to actually post through somebody's letterbox. It said that the majority of my parcels were packets, which is like the smallest one, for the lowest pay. However, when I arrived at the sorting centre, it said there was no large parcels whatsoever, but when I arrived there, there was 5 big boxes. I took 4 of them. I left one behind because it was like literally, it would take up the space of about 20 smaller packages. So I do think that things aren't being correctly labelled, because the way that they seem to pay is that you get like a small amount for a postable and then a little bit more for a packet, which most of them seem to be, and then standard is a little bit more, and then like large and heavy and stuff like that is more again. But like I've had days where I've turned up and there's been like 20 large boxes, and it said that I'd have 1, so it doesn't seem to work out. The other thing is as well, because where I'm delivering, so they pay a bonus for like delivering all the parcels that are assigned to you. Obviously I can't get that for most of the days because there's too many parcels assigned for how many I can fit in the car. And then the other bonus is for like ETA. Unfortunately, because the app doesn't know anything about the area I'm delivering, because where I am is like a new build area. It's got no idea where I should be going next. If I followed their app, I would be going from point A to point B. You see, point A to point B, and then to point C, and then back to point A, and then back to point B, then back to point A, then C, then B, and like, just doesn't make no sense. So I can't ever really get any of the bonuses. So I think it's worth it, just about, if you're light on your feet and you organise yourself well. But if you've got a different round every day, you're covering a different courier, I don't think it's worth doing Evri. But yeah, that's my experience so far with Evri.